Hi, my name's Bob Ryan, and today we're doing a video for HomeDefenseGun.net on shotguns. And we're going to do a little scientific investigation here to find out whether or not chopping the barrel off a shotgun actually widens the pattern when you fire buckshot. It's a popular theory out there. A lot of people think that if you take a normal duck gun, that you'd normally be taken out in the field after birds and chop the barrel off of it, you get a bigger kind of street sweeper like pattern out of it. So we're going to examine that today. Our two shotguns that we've chosen here, first one we have is a Mossberg 500. Fine shotgun. This thing rode around in the trunk of our company car for many years. It's a nice unit. It's got a full choke factory 18.5-inch barrel. The Mossberg is just a really nice kind of low-end shotgun. You can get high-end Mossbergs. This one's a little older. It's got the plastic furniture down here. What I always liked about the Mossberg, being a lefty, is the fact that it's got this tang safety mounted up on top here, so it's good for righties or lefties. We had some right-handed people and me, a left-handed guy, in our organization, so it was nice to have a shotgun that you didn't have to think about too much. And our second shotgun here is one of my favorite shotgun models. It's Winchester's 1897. Once again, this thing's good for lefties because it doesn't have a safety. It's just got this hammer here that you thumb back when you want to fire it. This one was originally a 30-inch barreled kind of sporting shotgun. I think it was owned by a pretty avid duck hunter before I got a hold of it, because there was quite a bit of pitting in the portion of the barrel that used to be hanging out here. I had it cut down, and now it's a 18.5-inch kind of home defense gun, although I still carry it around for bird hunting on occasion. I don't know precisely when it was made. It's probably coming up on its 100th birthday. I don't want anybody out there thinking that I hacked up some kind of beautiful collector's item here. This thing had seen a lot of use. The portion of the barrel I had removed was in pretty rough shape. Somebody fixed a leather butt pad to it there, some home tinkerer. But even though it's old, it's still a remarkably well-functioning firearm. And because I had the barrel cut off on it, in theory, this thing should be the mythical street sweeper that shoots a buckshot pattern the size of a trash can lid. So now we'll move over to the range and we'll see whether or not cutting off this barrel actually did anything. Alright, first we'll fire off our Mossberg 500 here with the full choke barrel and see what kind of pattern that gives us. Next we'll fire off our 97 Winchester. That, in theory, has no choke whatsoever. Alright, now we'll go over and take a look at our targets. Alright, well, we've gone and retrieved our two buckshot targets from the range, and as you can see, there is not a great deal of difference in these two targets. Each of them have 5 holes, and each of them have 2 pieces of buckshot that have been clumped pretty close together. You see that a lot with buckshot. Our point of aim with both of these targets is this gray square in the middle here, and as you can see, both of them have almost exactly the same pattern represented here. Even though the shotgun has no choke, and the Mossberg here has a full choke barrel. So what's occurring here? Why doesn't this look different? All things being equal, one would assume that this pattern should be much larger than this one, but it's not. Well, the problem here is the type of ammunition we're using. Buckshot just doesn't choke like smaller shot loads do. Most of the time when you're discussing patterning with shotguns, you're talking about firing shot loads, number 6, number 4, stuff that you take out after birds and rabbits, game loads essentially. Buckshot is much larger and has a much smaller number of individual projectiles. that the shotgun fires when you use it. Smaller shot, like number 6 or number 4, behaves more like a fluid when it comes out of the barrel of a shotgun. And choke allows you to essentially control smaller shot loads like a fluid. It's the same way that when you use a garden hose, you can put your thumb over it and get the water to shoot farther, or attach a nozzle to the hose and get it to react differently. Buckshot just simply will not act like a fluid. It essentially rattles down the barrel, and it comes out in usually fairly consistent, but never really that differently choked patterns. And in truth, if you have a full choke shotgun, modified, improved, or a no choke shotgun, you're always going to get roughly the same pattern. About the only thing you can do is affix a specialty choke to it, which does take some of the utility out of your firearm. One of the reasons this Mossberg here has a full choke barrel on it is so it can kind of be a jack of all trades. When you buy this, you want it to be able to maybe go bird hunting, you want to use it for home defense, maybe you want to go deer hunting with it. It can only be choked down so far that a lead slug can pass through it for deer hunting, and that's about as far down as you can take it. If you did take it down further, you would get a tighter group with this buckshot, but you can't really do that because it takes a lot of the utility out of your firearm. Now, this shotgun, for example, has no choke, and as you can see, fires about the same pattern. Now, interestingly enough, with this shotgun, when I cut the barrel off of it, it did not really change the pattern that it shot with smaller shot loads, like 6 or number 4. The reason for that is because this thing is so old, and over time, the barrel had essentially lost its choke. Now, when you choke a shotgun barrel, like this one for instance got choked at the Winchester factory about 100 years ago, you squish the barrel down a little bit. Now, steel has memory, and over the last century or so, this thing has kind of squished back out to where it was originally. When it had a 30-inch barrel, it shot the exact same pattern with number 4 shot that it shoots right now. It's a very wide pattern because essentially all the choke is out of it. It's still good enough for grouse hunting or whatever I use it for. And as you can see, it's made absolutely no difference with it shooting buckshot. That's just one of those things that happens with old shotguns. 100 years down the road, this shotgun will probably lose all of its choke. It's not really a concern for a normal shotgun owner, but that happens. More importantly, as you can see, with this being the point of aim, here and here, both of these shotguns shoot pretty good buckshot patterns. The whole point of buckshot is that it delivers a tremendous amount of energy to the target, and it delivers it in different areas of the body. As you can see, this piece of paper here, this would deliver a center mass hit like that. You're going to get a nice spread, and that's essentially what you're looking for with buckshot. You don't want it choked that tight, and obviously you don't want it flying all over the place. These groups were shot at roughly 10 yards. It's about as far back as you can get inside a house, and essentially they go to prove the fact that what you get with buckshot, even though it's not that changeable depending on choke, is pretty good. Both of these are perfectly acceptable and would probably be very lethal at home defense ranges. So, regardless of choke or not, you're still getting ample use out of these two firearms, and as you can see, I think we've pretty much disproven the idea that simply hacking the barrel off a shotgun is going to change anything. Hope this has been informative, and I hope you put some thought into it when you're thinking of modifying your shotgun.